of the month. I get next Tuesday. Alright, it's technically still April.
We got one more. You got two more before it's yours. Lucky. Anyway, on that happy note, let's get started here. Good evening, and calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Crooked River Radio, or Crooked River Amateur Radio Club's Monday night or Tuesday night VHF net. My name is Pat. My call sign is November 8, Oscar Quebec Papa. But for the purposes of this net, we'll be using a club call of Whiskey 8 Charlie Romeo Charlie. This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic can pop into this net at any time, please try to leave small pauses between transmissions so any kind of net traffic can filter in here. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of the amateur-related ideas and information to keep club members and the amateur radio public up to date about club meetings and happenings, and to enhance the net operating practice. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. local time. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any managers or members who have announcements that want to get in the front of the net where most amount of people can be that are listening, or if you have information of general interest to our net, please let me know and we'll put you in the front here. Once that is complete, I'll take regular check-ins, and at that time I'll ask you to give me your call sign, repeated phonetically, followed by your name. When all these check-ins are complete, I'll close the net. After repeats, we'll do one more check-ins if there is any, and then we'll go ahead and close the net. Okay, for the announcements, I've got several here. Tomorrow night is our meeting night. Or is it? No, it isn't. I'll be darned. Right. Yeah, tomorrow night is a meeting night. I should check. I'm looking at the wrong calendar here. It figures tomorrow night is our meeting night. That will be a business meeting, more or less business meeting. For discussion, we're going to start the discussions on field day. We're going to have some discussions on things Ted had at the last meeting, and hopefully some other stuff will come up. This will be more or less just an open, everybody can give us ideas meeting. So we would appreciate it if you could make it. Okay, I do have a reminder about this coming Saturday. We do have the IHM run that we're doing. I'll need you in the church parking lot somewhere about 8 o'clock in the morning, that morning, if you volunteered to help with the race. At that point, I'll probably have a T-shirt for you, and we'll have your positions. If you have a position that you would like to be put at again, if you volunteered for us before, please let me know so I can get it all written in. I do have Bill, W8CRC, his wife, I have those already assigned. But other than that, it's pretty much open. Okay. Thirdly, we have this meeting coming up. I think it's the 15th of May. That meeting will be a presentation meeting, but it'll be a hands-on thing. We're actually going to construct a 2-meter tape measure beam. It'll be a lot of fun. I've done this before. I am one of several that want to do it again. So we'll get it constructed. If you want to go home with one, please let me know, and we'll get you set up with one. The cost of these things will be about between $25 and $30, and it will be available. I will have to have the money by the meeting, though. We're not going to let anything like that drift. I think that's all the announcements that I have. I do have a trivia question for tonight, and this is pretty simple. You just tell me what you think. Do you have, or what was your first what was your first amateur radio? Could be VHF, UHF, whatever. Please just let me know what radio you had, what the first radio you bought, and we'll go from there. It's a trivia. Okay, let's do the first thing here. If there is any managers, any club members, anybody that has general announcements or information for our net, please come down. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and start taking regular check-ins here. If you'd like to check into our net, please call W8CRC now.
W8CRC, W8WLB, Whiskey 8, Whiskey Lima Bravo, Bill, and Elliot.
Good evening, Bill. Hang in there a second. Anybody else?
W8CRC.
Okay, got you, Ted. No, you got that. Anybody else?
AA8BSA.
AA8BSA, got you, Keith. Okay, let's, got room for 2 more. Let's go for that.
Whiskey 8, Charlie, Tango, Mike, carry it, Portage Lakes.
Good evening, Carrie. Hang on. Anybody else? Okay, let's go back to the top here. W8WLB, good evening. Bill, what's going on?
Nothing much, but since the gang's all here, should I let the cat out of the bag?
Well, go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, for those of you that haven't been hanging out on the 6.4 and eavesdropping, I know you do it. So I want to let you know that myself and my beautiful wife, K8FJL, have purchased a home in Williamsburg, Kentucky, and have sold our home here. About 5 weeks, we'll be heading south. So I don't want to say goodbye now, but I do want to let y'all know what a pleasure it's been to start out in the amateur radio with you jokers as my mentors. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot of what to do, what not to do, what to listen to, who not to listen to, and what not to do. As far as my first radio, y'all criticized it, and it still operates. It's a BTEC 50-watt, 2-meter, 70-centimeter, 50-watt unit that I cobbled a power supply together and stuck the mag mount antenna on the air conditioner out the back of my house. So that's what I did. So I'm not going to say goodbye now. Hopefully I'll check into a net here again before we take off, but antennas are going to start coming down here. So with that, back to the net. W8WLB.
Okay, one quick question, Bill.
Go ahead.
You said that BTEC is still operational. Does it have any simplex channels programmed into it?
It sure does. I don't use it right now. It's getting packed, but why?
I just wondered. I'm going to ask that as a secondary question. It's going to lead up to something our club is considering doing. That's about it. If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and move on here.
I'm done, and I'm clear. W8WLB. Back to the net.
Okay, Bill. As I said, as I've told you earlier, I'm really kind of bummed that you're leaving. But I understand amateur radio is just the service that it is, and you can, family comes first. So, I know we'll be crossing paths down the road. Thanks for being here with us. And I am going to probably have to start looking for another net controller. So, thanks, Bill. Mr. PRK is next. Good evening, KB8PRK from W8CRC. Good evening, Ted.
Hey, good evening, Pat, and everybody else. Sorry to hear about Bill leaving. I kind of heard he might be, but now it's official. I wish him good luck on his journey, and hope he likes his new dwellings down there in Kentucky there. I'm sure the weather will be better, especially in the wintertime. My first piece of equipment was a Radio Shack 202 HT. Bought that back in 1993. Actually, I put it in layaway. They had it on sale, and I didn't have the money, but to freeze the price, I went ahead and put it in layaway. And I didn't have my license yet. I had taken the test, but back then it was at least 2 months before you got your license call in the mail. I went down on a Saturday night in September and picked up the radio, took it home, and couldn't do anything with it. I had to charge the battery up. Couldn't do anything with it anyway. I didn't have a license. And but I read the manual and got some memories in there and stuff. Of course, the radio only had 16 total memories. And went to work Monday, came back home, and got the mail, and there was a big brown envelope in there from Gettysburg, my license. So I had the radio for 2 days. Now I can legally get on the air. Yeah, that was a thrill, not to be repeated. Nothing like your first radio. That's always probably out of all the equipment I've got. I've got a lot of it now. That first one is a thrill that you really can't repeat. So I still got it here. I don't think it works, but I got a lot of good years out of that radio. That's about it on this end there, Pat.
Okay, Ted. Thank you for sharing that with us. My first radio was a Kenwood almost single band 2-meter. I don't even remember what the name of the number of it was. I bought it used from Buck over here at Chapel Hill, near Chapel Hill. An old guy that bunch of my other friends jumped in here and knew I needed to get a radio and knew he had that thing. And that actually was the first time I'd ever actually talked anything on, and probably since, talked anything on sideband on 2 meters. And I was hitting Detroit quite regularly whenever the band conditions came up in that. It was kind of cool. That was my first one. You always remember, for some reason, you always remember your first radio. Let me grab a second here. Okay, let's move on to Keith, K-A-8-BSA from W8CRC. Good evening, Keith.
Good evening, everyone. This is Keith, K-A-8-BSA, and my first radio was a Yaesu FT207R. And I got his second, maybe it was even third hand from a gentleman who is out of town in New York, I think, in a DCD. And that's about it for me on this end. Looking forward to the meeting. And by the way, do I need to, when we get to the meeting where we're building the antenna, should I bring an antenna analyzer? I have my trusty
Satellite RS-44 rising.
Yes, please. I've got one in my frame. I got to put new batteries in it because batteries have been in it for a while. It's still live and everything, but I'm just thinking that I don't want it going dead halfway through. So yes, please do.
Okay, I got one of those micro VNAs. I haven't figured out how to use it yet. I have that too.
I got a VNA also, but the FMJ will do it, or MFJ, Mighty Fine Junk, will do quite nicely actually.
Okay, I shall bring it along. I'll put it in my backpack.
I appreciate that. Also bring that little USB stick, although I think I'm going to have to look around and see if I can find it. I think I've got a spare around here somewhere. If I do, I'll just throw that in the box. But I would appreciate you bringing that. So, anyway, let's go ahead and move things on. W8CTM, Kerry, what's up, and what was your first radio?
Well, good evening there, Pat, and good evening to all the check-ins out there. And wow, Bill's going to be moving down to Kentucky. Well, that is a pretty state down there. Well, best of luck, Bill, and your endeavors and everything, traveling down a little further south. Yeah, I heard Ted say that you'll definitely have better winters. Maybe about like we had here this winter. It was about as good as we could ever hope for, I think. It's probably they said it was the warmest winter ever on record for the continental U.S., so I'd say we had a warm one. Anyway, my first radio, let me get a beep here. My first radio was a Radio Shack 202, 2-meter handheld like Ted's was. I bought it used from Tiny, KC8DU. Bought it used from him. He had it for a while, and I used it, still have it. I have no idea if it works, but I still have it, and got that in 1996 when I got my license. So, yeah, that was my first radio anyhow. Yeah, like you said, Pat, everybody remembers their first one, and I remember my second one. It was a Yaesu FT50. It was a dual band little handheld, and I still have that one too, and I don't know if it works. Anyway, that's about all I have, so I'll turn it back to Ned here. Everybody have a great evening, because it's a beauty out there. Going to be knackered skies tonight, no clouds.
Gary, one last question. Did you then and do you now have anything simplex programmed into your radios? And that question's going to go to Keith. Don't go away, Keith. Do you or did you?
Yeah, I got quite a few simplex frequencies programmed in all my radios. Yeah, I do. Hey, and you mentioned MFJ. I heard they'll be after November 7th or May 17th or something like that. They will no longer be in business. So all the mighty fine junk we have, they'll find somebody else to manufacture it. Probably where it's being made now, but they're going out of business.
I hate the idea that they're not going to have They actually ran Cushcraft and all. I think it was 5 other things there. I'm going to hate to see some of them. I think they had high gain. That's going to leave. Those antennas were awesome. What a shame. Anyway, Keith, you still there? Did you and do you?
Yes. And maybe DX will pick them up.
That's an idea. They got the facility over there for it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on here then. I'm down to the bottom of the list here. Anybody else want to check in with us? Please call. W8CRC.
Alpha Kilo Lima, Mike in North Canton.
AKL. What was the first part?
KF8 AKL.
KF8 AKL, and that was Mike?
Yep, Mike over here in North Canton. How are you this evening?
Doing well, Mike, doing well. What you got for us tonight? Anything? What was your first radio?
I'm a relatively new ham, but long time playing around in the hobby. Got an FT991A for my bass and kind of mobile, and then all kinds of different handhelds. And actually today I had another buddy that I think will be joining the net here this evening at 7:30. We were out in the backyard making some dipoles for hopefully field day and some parks work this summer. Playing around with some 40 meter and 80 meter and getting them dialed right in the center of the band.
Do you have a club or anything that you're participating with?
I've got buddies in this club, W8AL, the Canton Club, W8NP, the Maslin Club. Just kind of been talking to people all over the place, and everyone's been very welcoming, so it's been a good experience.
Well, if you need somewhere to, or want somewhere to check out for field day, look us up, and also look up our meetings here. We meet the first and third Wednesday of the month, try to be convenient for everybody. And then we do our nets on Tuesday night, as you can well tell. But if you're looking for a club, come check us out.
Yeah, I noticed pretty much all the clubs in the area seem to meet on Wednesdays, and that's not the best day for me. But I know John Small in your guys' club. He's been a customer and a buddy, and he's made it very clear that you guys are a welcoming group and looking for members.
It's very true, and I know John is actually, once we get it started, it's going to be our newsletter editor. Good guy. Anyway, that's all you have for the net. Probably need to move on here. Thanks for the check-in, and as I said, you're always welcome. Anybody else want to check in with us tonight? Please call W8CRC.
Whiskey Delta 8, Bravo, Quebec, Sierra, Steve, Cogga Falls.
WDABQS, I know that name. That's Steve, yeah. Good evening, Steve. What's going on?
Oh, not much, Pat. My first rig was an HT, and it was a high gain, 6-channel crystal control, just squelch, volume, and a 6-position channel thing to select the different crystals pairs. And I think it's a 3806, if I remember right. Had a little place on the back for a touchtone pad that was very affectionately called the brick. I don't know if anybody else has been familiar with that HT, but it is about the size of a brick, and it's square just like a brick.
This was a handheld or was it mobile?
No, it was an HT, and gray in color, and the only meter it had on it was a little battery power meter.
I hate to tell you, Steve, but you're showing your age here.
Well, you asked for the first rig, and that was it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What's going on with you? Anything else?
No, we're just happy the warm weather's finally arrived. It's kind of nice to be able to sit in the bleachers and watch the grandkids playing baseball and soccer and not be freezing. So, and we're looking forward to the meeting coming up here, and hopefully Mike will be able to make it. I don't know if he's on, but he said he's been pretty busy at the university, so we'll have to see what happens tomorrow.
Well, keep me posted so we can keep if we have to do the drink thing again, we can do it.
Okay, doke. I just haven't heard from him, so don't know what's going on. I know he told me he was busy, but he's been having parties and whatever set up for these higher ups there in the university, and 500 people at a time. So he's really been running ragged. So okay, Pat, we'll take you back to control there, and we'll be signing off and listening. W8CRC clear.
Steve, thanks for taking the time to check in with us. We'll be in touch. We'll see you tomorrow night. 7:30, and let's move on here. If you would like to check in with our net, please call W8CRC now.
KD8, Mike in Talmadge.
Oh, there's Mike. That part. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Just good to be back on the net, and looking forward to the meeting tomorrow. Me being relatively new, my first radio was an ICOM ICV80 HT, so that was a gift from my dad. And I think he got my sister one too, and she got her license around the same time. So it's been a good radio, and I like it a lot, still use it, and actually I got it sitting right here in front of me.
Now the other question is, do you have anything simplex frequency-wise programmed into that?
Yep, sure do, and use it, I won't say a lot, but quite a bit.
Well, you'll find out tomorrow evening. There's a reason I'm asking that question. There's an idea floating around, let me just put it that way. You can find out from your dad if nothing else, but I'm not going to go into it here because I want to keep it a secret. Anyway, glad to hear you're going to make it tomorrow night. Does need anything else from the net, or probably need to move on here?
Nope, sounds good, Pat. I'll look for everybody tomorrow at the meeting, and I'll send it back to you at the net. KD8CXE, back to you at the net, W8CRC.
Hi, Mike. See you tomorrow evening. Have a splendid evening. Enjoy your night off. All right, let's move things on here. Anybody else want to check in with us? Please call.
November 8, Uniform Kilo Mike.
November 8, Uniform Uniform Kilo Mike. I know that call sign. That's Chris. Evening, Chris. What's up?
Pat and everybody on the net, and to Mike, in case you're not aware, at least on my end, you have what sounds to me like a power supply home in your signal. You might want to look into that. Maybe overdriving the power supply with wattage drawn by the radio, or it may just be on my end that I heard it. So, with that, Pat, I hope that the thing that's being passed around might be what I'm thinking about. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't make your meetings and stuff like that, but I did want to stop in finally, and as I actually remembered that Tuesday night is your net. So, W8CRC, NAUKM, back to you, and thanks for letting me in.
Okay, Chris, first radio, and do you have Simplex in it?
Yeah, I've got Simplex on multiple radios.
What was the first radio?
Oh my. I think the first one was an Linko HT, like a DT something or another. But I can't remember because I mean that was quite a few years ago. But yeah, I want to say that.
Satellite AO27 rising.
That's cool. We've been asking that question. KBA-PRK was the one that came up with it, and I think we thought we'd go ahead and run with it. I'll give Ted the credit. It's been interesting so far. Thanks for the check-in, and hopefully, give me a call sometime, and I'll let you know what the other thing is here. I need to take a break for just 1 second here, because I got to ask. The wife's got a question I got to answer. You know how these wives are. Hang on, W8CRC, be back in a second.
Happy wife, happy life. NAUKM, thanks again, Matt.
Okay, I'm back. W8CRC, you're going to go ahead and ask for more check-ins if there is any. If you'd like to check in, please let us know what your first radio was and if you have Simplex in it. Anything Simplex programmed into it. If you'd like to check in, please call W8CRC.
Kilo Echo 8 Lima Romeo Kilo George in Akron.
88 Kilo Romeo Kilo. Good evening, George. Good to hear from you.
Hello, Pat. Everybody else out there this evening. Late hopping on tonight. I wanted to at least get on the air tonight to say hello, and I'm going to miss tomorrow night's meeting. So I'm sorry about that, but not much going on here. Just a busy day at work. And there was some chatter, I believe, about first radio. What information you're looking for? I must have missed that part.
Was what your first radio was, and if you have, on your current radio,
Satellite AO27 rising.
Programmed into it.
Gotcha. Yeah, my first radio ever, once I got licensed, was the ICOM 52 B-Star HT. It does digital and analog, and then I went to the 5100 for both my truck and for the house as a mobile, which is what I'm talking on this evening. And obviously, those radios do D-Star and allow for its simplex operation as well.
Do you happen to do you use any particular simplex frequency, or do you do a lot of it? I'm curious how much you do.
Well, I have them programmed, of course, a national frequency, and I probably, like most operators, listen more than I talk. Typically, when I do get on the air, it's usually through a repeater, but I do have those programmed and are aware of them, but don't really use them that much.
And that is great information. I appreciate that. I'm going to miss you tomorrow night. But, I do understand. If for some reason things change, just come on in. We'll be there. But if that's all you got, George, I'm going to go ahead and move on here.
Yeah, that's all on my end. Good hearing you on the air, and I will catch you at the next meeting for sure. But with that, I'll be clear. Kilo Echo 8, Lima, Romeo Kilo, back to the net.
For my information, you don't want to do anything as far as the tape measure beam. You don't want one or anything.
Okay, so I'm interested in that project for sure. It'll come down to timing and when and where, etc. Was that going to be tomorrow night?
It's going to be, that meeting is going to be the 15th of May. If you decide you want to take one home, let us know. So we'll get the parts gathered up for you. And then you just have to pay us at the meeting, that's all.
That sounds good. I'll check with the missus and my calendar, make sure I have no conflicts for that meeting. And I'll connect with you personally with that information soon. I appreciate the reminder.
Okay, George. Have a good evening, sir. Thanks for the check-in and the info, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, if nothing else. This is W8CRC looking for more check-ins. If you'd like to check in with our net, please call. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and rerun the meeting announcements, or the announcements rather. We do have a meeting coming up tomorrow night. That will be our regular business meeting. That's going to entail we're going to talk about field day tomorrow night. We're going to take and talk about the some other projects we have we'd like to get started, and just a general meeting. So if you'd like to check in, we would appreciate it if you'd make the meeting. Coming to those meetings actually gives you the opportunity to help drive this club. Well, this is not just a one-member or one-person organization here. We respect our membership and we really want to do what you guys want us to do. So we can make the meetings. That's terrific for us.
Satellite XW2C
the
rising.
other thing that I have, let me grab a beep here. The other thing that I have is a reminder, if you're joining us for the 5K race, the IHM 5K race, if you volunteered, please make it to the, or please be sure to make it to the back of the church. You'll see my car there after 8 p.m., or 8 a.m. rather, on Saturday morning. 8 a.m. we're going to meet there, and then I'll give you your positions and probably the shirt that I'm pretty sure we're going to have the shirts by then. So if you're going to volunteer for that, please let us know. Let's see, what else did I have here? Of course, the antenna assembly meeting, that's coming up May 15th, and we're down to the trivia. So, with that, we'll go ahead and ask for more check-ins if there is any. If not, we're going to go ahead and close this thing up. If you'd like to check in, please call W8CRC. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and close this net up. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check into our net tonight. Without you and your participation, there would be no net. This has been N80QP. My name is Pat, and it's been my my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will go ahead and close the net with, let's think about 10 check-ins, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 check-ins, not too bad today. So, at least not for a spring chat or a spring net. We'll go ahead and close things up. Thanks for participating, and we will see you hopefully at the meeting tomorrow night, if not somewhere down the page. This is W8CRC, with Pat in the net chair, AOQP in the net chair, and we'll see you next week. 7:30. KE8ZXE here. I think that was it. Mike, are you still there?
N8OQP, KD8ZXE.
Need to get you something to get rid of that buzz.
Oh, Pat, I'm sorry, I sneezed at the same time you were talking and I didn't hear a word you said.
Need to investigate and find out what's causing that buzz on your radio.
Actually, I got a power supply sitting here. I just have to get the wire with the right plug to match up on it, so I'm working on it. It's got to be that. This power supply I'm using is probably 40 years old.
Well, if you need any help, don't be afraid to ask. We've got a whole club here that is more than willing to help you fix it, including myself.
I got a lot of power pole connectors, K8BSA.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Maybe I'll bring the plug to the meeting tomorrow, and I'm not even sure what kind this is called. It's already attached to the power supply. It's another unit my dad gave as a hand-me-down, so I'm sure we can find something that'll work.
Okay, if probably the easiest way would be if you wanted to do that, I think what's happening is you probably need a choke across that power supply line. That's what it sounds like. There's no filtering coming out of the supply. That would probably be the easiest thing to do. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the chokes here, but I'm sure we could get something off of Amazon or something fairly quick, and then like I said, we'll take care of it.
I have another 2-meter radio that was in my old truck sitting here too that I can try. It's an ICOM, and I dug it out of the closet, and the weirdest thing, the cord on the mic, the coating is just like crumbling off. I've never seen anything like it. The black insulation is just falling apart.
I believe that, especially if it's an older radio. Sometimes they do that.
This one's not that old. It's a ICOM 2300. I still see them over at DX.
That's not that old. Something's probably got onto it or something that dried it out. Usually when they crumble like that, it's because they're, the plastic is dried out or something.
I was thinking maybe because it was mobile in the truck, maybe the UV or the heat did something to it.
That's what it sounds like.
I looked those mics up for replacement. Anything with the ICOM name sure isn't cheap.
I think the best place to do that, though, and get an exact replacement is probably Amazon. You should be able to get something like that, I would think, for 25 or 30 bucks if it's a hand mic. The one I'm talking on right now it's an Icon mic. It's a modular. I went to eBay to get it, and I think I only paid like 25 bucks. Right, eBay. What am I thinking? I went to Amazon to get it. I think I paid like 25 bucks.
No, that sounds pretty reasonable. The radio I'm talking to you on now, this was another one. My dad had it in his old Jeep back in the early 80s probably. It's a Kenwood 7400. It looks like military. It's a metal case. Got the red digital looking numbers on the front and a signal strength meter and all these knobs. Is pretty cool looking.
Oh, that's cool. I like the 7300. I've actually got one of my own.
Yeah, but you don't have this radio.
Fight me.
No thanks.
Mike, just so you understand that, he's got a radio that I've seen several of, and I would love to see sitting here on this bench. And nobody that's got them things will part with them.
I can show you a picture of it sitting on my bench.
I'll give you 20 bucks for it.
No, not happening. Maybe you better add a few more zeros to it on the left side of the decimal point.
I like how you clarified that.
Me know you too well, KA8BSA.
Give you 20.0000.
Wrong side.
I'll give you 200 bucks.
I think that's about what I paid for it.
Really?
Yeah. I bought it used over the internet.
I don't think you'd find anything like that for that price now.
No, especially this radio. Oh, and I have its big brother too. The 440 version.
Now that's usually the way that works too. I had a friend of mine that he passed away here quite a few years ago. That was he had that radio and his big brother, and he just loved that thing. And when he passed, I tried to get it. His wife decided to sell it to somebody else, and so it's not. I would have had one back then if I could have. But oh well.
I didn't mean to leave Mike out there. I think he doubled with you earlier.
Sorry about that, Mike. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm going to make a little bit of a snack run before the meeting tomorrow. What do you guys want? Pick your poison, something sweet, or I still got some chips left, but the cookies went pretty good.
With most ham radio groups, the cookies always go good. If you get something like the chocolate chippers or something like that, every one that I've ever brought a package of those to, not taken any home. But probably cookies, and if you want something different, cheese curls would be cool.
Sounds like a plan. When I was in my model airplane club, those guys, they loved donuts. They would eat donuts breakfast, lunch, and dinner. not that cake donut stuff.
We had that one tailgate thing. I don't know if you were there, Keith, or not. Our vendor didn't show up. We had to get, we had to do something as far as food, or we were going to get a reputation. So they went, they authorized me to take and go to Dunkin'. I got a bunch of Dunkin', and then I got a bunch of Jubilee donuts, because I like Jubilee's coffee butter. And I think I made 3 or 4 different runs during that couple-hour time, and we never did take any of that home.
Well, I believe it. All right, time to think about getting some dinner put together here for the family.
We're doing cabbage and noodles and some kielbasa here.
Okay. I might do tacos over here. Not from that place with the bell.
That sounds good. What time we eat?
You got your own dinner. Cabbage and noodles and sausage.
Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy, Mike.
Man, we must eat early. I made dinner around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Well, over here, my daughter worked till 7. Wife takes the workout class, couple classes, and of course got the net. So now that we're all together, and the son's actually here today too. He's not up at the university. He got out early, so I'm gonna get busy.
All right, go cook your dinner for crying out loud. You don't want starving people.
Oh, not to rub it in, but a couple weeks ago I made some chicken tortellini and a white wine butter sauce that I got, the recipe I got from a chef. God, is that good.
Do Marsala. Do chicken Marsala, Keith.
No, I haven't tried that yet. Suppose it's on the radar.
Yeah, that's pretty much one of my favorite Italian dishes if it's done right. Add a little pasta with it.
Sounds good. Yeah, this last time I made it, I got all fresh herbs, and none of that stuff's been sitting up in a jar in the cupboard. I went all fresh herb, and needless to say, the first time I made it for these guys, it disappeared. There was none left, and I have to purposely make more if I want to have leftovers.
Yeah, when I find something these guys will eat, it's pretty much the same way. If I want to eat, I got to make extra.
All right, 73 KAA BSA.
Hi, Keith. Have a good evening. Thanks for everything. See you tomorrow night.
I'll be there, or you'll be standing outside.
I don't really want to do that, but have a good evening. Thanks.
Good night, you guys. KD8ZXE clear.
Good evening, Mike. Thanks for checking in with us. And like I said, though, if you want help with that radio, just let us know. And I'll either help you or I'll get you help. One of the two. Anyway, see you tomorrow night. I'm out of here. My dinner's sitting on the table. 7:30, and I don't get big.